Do you want to be unshakable? Well, stop pushing harder and start recovering smarter. Let me explain what I mean by that. Hey, welcome back to Elevate Daily. I'm Jason Samuel, and if you're someone who takes your performance really seriously, here's a little bit of truth that might sting a little. Most people don't actually fail from too little effort. They fail from too little recovery. We tend to obsess over peak performance, but we forget that recovery is part of the performance cycle. So today's episode isn't about hustle, it's about how high performers recover deliberately to build real resilience. If that's your kind of energy, then you're in the right place. Hit follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Now let's get into it. Okay, here's a little paradox that I've noticed. The most consistent people I know in my life, the ones who show up really sharp and grounded and effective, they aren't running on caffeine or willpower. You don't notice them walking around with a big mug of coffee. No, they're running on rhythm, and they've built daily recovery habits that act as small mental resets throughout the day. Not vacations, not spa days. Micro resets are what they protect throughout the day and ensure that they take. Let me show you what that looks like. There's 3 daily habits that I personally use and find a lot of value in, and I recommend them to just about every high performer that I meet. The first one, active decompression. This isn't collapse on the couch with Netflix for 20 to 30 minutes. It's instead a 10 to 20 minute habit that signals to your nervous system to downshift a little. You don't need to go as extreme as meditating in a hyperbaric chamber at 2 ATA, though lately I love doing that on the weekends when I can, and I find it very beneficial, but it's not very practical to do during the week, especially in a micro reset form. So for me, throughout the week, in the micro resets, it's more about breath work or even a walk with no phone in my hand or in my pocket. Just leave the phone on the desk and just go for a walk. Or if I need to be at my desk, then it's just breathing. It's intentional breathing through different types of breathing exercises. For others, it might be journaling or stretching. The point is about intentional off-switching, not about completely numbing out. Number 2 is structured pauses. Most of us schedule everything in our lives. Look at your calendar today. But the one thing that we never seem to schedule is rest. That's the one thing that tends to get pushed. Think of your last bedtime, for example. When was it? And did you actually make it on time? Did you make it on time the last 7 days of your life? That's something to really look into. I tend to block 5 to 10 minutes between deep work blocks to let my brain reset. So I try and make sure that I get plenty of rest for the brain so that I function at peak performance. It's not wasted time, it's maintenance time. It's like clearing a cache before your system overheats. Number 3, wind down anchors. If your sleep really sucks, don't go and buy another supplement. Instead, you should build a ritual. This is what's really worked for me. Consistent device-free routine that tells your brain that we're done now. It's time to get rest. Mine starts with my phone automatically going into sleep mode at a set time, and then I take that phone and I put it in another room on a charger and I don't touch it again for the rest of the night. Some other things I like to do as part of my ritual is occasionally have a cup of chamomile tea. Sometimes I like to shower right before bed just to kind of completely be refreshed and ready for sleep. Another one I like to do is reading fiction. Not productivity books. I read a lot of productivity books as well, but at nighttime specifically, I like fiction. Fiction tends to give my brain a little bit of space to wander. It gives your mind more freedom. And I personally like science fiction because it causes my brain to kind of make pictures of things that you don't really see in the world. It's not Hollywood spoon-feeding you a movie or the latest blockbuster with special effects and things like that. Instead, you're using a very powerful tool, the camera in your head, to build these images in the way you want as you read the pages. So it's really amazing, in my opinion. You ever hear someone say the novel is better than the movie? Well, there's a good reason for that. The power of the brain is just amazing, and what you can create in your head, it really can't be translated the same as something that's coming from an external stimulus, something that's being spoon-fed to you. So definitely, if you have trouble reading or finding something to read at night, I recommend fiction, possibly even science fiction, just to change it up a little bit. Another great one that a friend recently got me into is journaling gratitude. Gratitude I've had for people throughout the day. This journaling helps me kind of recall my entire day in my mind, and it ensures that I'm actually thankful for all the little interactions and occurrences that I've had with people throughout the day that I otherwise might not come back to. This has given me quite a bit of perspective on life about all of the the people in my life that, you can easily be taken for granted because of the fast pace that we move at. Even the smallest interactions, like somebody holding a door open for you, or a delivery person handing you a package with a smile on their face and you smile back and say thank you. These little interactions throughout the day, you're changing people's lives, and they're changing your lives. So to have that gratitude and actually think throughout the day of all those people that have made a difference, they're propelling you forward and you might be propelling them forward. So just to have that gratitude is really, really important, and it helps the mind relax and generally fall asleep better, at least for me. Now, why does this matter? Because resilience isn't a trait, it's more of a system. And your system is either buffering stress or trying to compound it. Without daily recovery, this pressure becomes fatigue. And fatigue can lead to cynicism, which is something you really want to avoid. You want to be in a jovial mood, you want to be happy about everything you do in life. And when this fatigue really starts to get to you, you start to lose your clarity and your performance. These type of things tend to slip. This is why you really want to make sure that you recover intentionally. You bounce back faster, you respond to things instead of reacting to things throughout your day, and you always lead with like a full tank of gas. You're not just running on fumes. And this, in my opinion, is what allows you to keep your edge. So here's your challenge. Don't just plan your performance, design your recovery. Because the strongest leaders that I know, they don't power through everything. They pause, they reset, and they come back sharper. And in a world that rewards speed, that's what you have to do to stay durable, extremely durable. If today's episode gave you something to think about or rethink, share it with someone who could use a reset too. And if you're not already reading the weekly newsletter, it's where I tend to go deeper on topics like this with frameworks and small shifts that can create a big difference in your life. So until next time, protect your energy, lead from rest, and keep rising. This is Elevate Daily. I'm Jason Samuel, and I'll catch you next time.